Hey guys, happy Thanksgiving Eve. It is the 23rd of November 2022. I have 18 minutes before my bus arrives. It is about 6:53 p.m. Pacific. And I wanted to come on here because tonight as we speak, because I'm going to be watching it basically pre-taped when I get home, or at least it'll be in progress when I get home as a pre-tape. But basically tonight, Dynamite, the post Full Gear edition of Dynamite, is in Chicago, which is ironic because Full Gear was in New Jersey. So essentially, the pay-per-view was basically in the backyard of the new champion Maxwell J. Friedman, MJF, and the post edition, the post Dynamite edition for Full Gear is in CM Punk's hometown, if you will, his backyard. But what's even crazier is, the different reactions that, I guess you could say the Elite and CM Punk have gotten. Now, CM Punk's not even there in person right now because of injury, and we don't know exactly what's happening, eternally behind the scenes. Excuse me. But we do know at Full Gear, the whole New Jersey crowd, gave Punk, who was probably watching at home if he was, a "fuck you CM Punk" chant. And excuse my language, Lord, for saying it that way, but that's what it was. It was an "F you CM Punk" chant. Well, tonight, apparently, when the Elite began match 2 of the Best of 7 series with Death Triangle for the World Trios Championships, basically they got the same treatment that the New Jersey crowd gave CM Punk. They got the "FU Elite" chant, or "FU Kenny Omega" chant. But ironically, there was some, according to some people, very subtle and very, very distinct, but very subtle "FU CM Punk" chants as well. And this is coming from his hometown. So you could probably tell that, there are some fans and supporters of CM Punk in his own hometown, in his own backyard, that are not too thrilled with his actions and, what has come to be, because, he just couldn't keep, his personal thoughts, his personal feelings within. Anyway, word for the past several months has been going around that AEW needs to do something with this. Now, ironically, Kenny Omega came out in an interview with Sports Illustrated and basically suggested to the fans to kind of put this to rest, to kind of basically move on from this, and along with them, the Elite and the AEW locker room, the company, if you will, basically try to be, team players. Try to be people that work together to make the product, good, to make the company, the promotion, viable in the eyes of a lot of folks. And hold on for a second. Like I said, make it viable in the eyes of a lot of folks, a lot of fans, as well as an attraction for new talent, whether they've made a name for themselves elsewhere, like WWE or Japan or wherever, or Impact, to come in and cut their teeth. And honestly, I don't blame Kenny Omega for coming out and saying, hey, let's put this behind us, let's move forward and everything. I don't blame him for that. As a matter of fact, I find that very encourageable and very positive on Kenny's behalf. Because I think in a way, Omega, and even to an extent the Bucks, realized that, hey, if we could, put our differences aside and just move past what has happened, that yes, indeed, there are financial gains to be made out of this situation. And that is indeed true. So the question is, should Tony Khan, and by extension AEW, bring back CM Punk to make this happen? Should they bring him back, work something out to where they put the personal differences aside, and try to make some money out of this, try to make some platinum gold, out of this scenario? And honestly, if Kenny is being the bigger man here, and by extension, along with the Bucks being the bigger men here, and saying, hey, we should just, put this, to the side, and put our personal differences, to the side, and try to, be a team, try to work together. If it sounds like Kenny, from this interview he had with Sports Illustrated, is trying to be the bigger man, and move on from this, but also kind of acknowledge the fact, because, here's the thing. Tonight, in their second match with Death Triangle, they basically acknowledged a lot of what was going on when it came to the whole behind-the-scenes scenario. The biting of the arm, the go to sleep references to Punk and everything, or even Kenny Omega performing the go to sleep. Obviously they know that this is something that, if done right, if their differences could be set aside, can be, a moneymaker for AEW. Could be basically a feud, a shoot style like feud and program that will get people talking more about AEW than they ever had. In fact, it would get people tuning into AEW more so than WWE, even under Triple H's regime, because they would want to see exactly what, is going to happen. In fact, if I was to make a strange comparison, this could be AEW's equivalent of the Von Erichs and the Freebirds, because you would have two sides that legitimately, if not, not just on camera, book, storyline wise and anything, kayfabe wise, but legitimately don't have the best interest for, in mind for each other. This would, just like, let's say, the Von Erichs and the Freebirds had, on camera in front of the crowd and all that, this could be AEW's answer to that. This could be AEW's equivalent of that feud in WCCW that put World Class on the map and got people talking about it as if it was like the second or third tier promotion outside of WWE. So do I think they should bring CM Punk back to make this happen? Make this the modern day version of almost a Von Erichs Freebirds like program and feud, blood feud, if you will? Well, if CM Punk can be reasoned with and can put his differences and feelings aside, when it comes to the Bucks, comes to the Elite, that, I would say yes. I would say, I'd say let's go. Let's make it happen. But, here's the thing. This is where CM Punk becomes kind of a wild card in this, because, when you look at CM Punk, would CM Punk be willing to put those differences aside? Would he be willing to say, okay, I'll work with these guys, I'll do business with them, but if they cross me once, the gloves are off, basically. Like, if they cross him once, the gloves are off, all deals are off, and he's just gonna let loose or something, or whatever CM Punk would do to, be vindicated over being double-crossed or something in a deal. But yeah, I honestly think that if they can work something out with Punk, where they can agree to basically put their differences aside with each other to make this happen, then yeah, bring him back. Bring him back. Let's have AEW get themselves a feud, a program that'll have people tuning into them more so than they would want to tune into a rejuvenated, re-electrified WWE under Triple H's rule. Because, here's the thing, if you go in that direction with them, you inject that realism, that legit realism into the storyline, but do it on a professional level, the sky is the limit for these guys. The sky is the absolute limit. I mean, there is no path that they can't take with this. I mean, you could even play it up to where you could have, certain superstars, wrestlers, performers, if you will, in AEW that would side with CM Punk. And heck, you could get yourself a blood and guts match out of this that for the first time ever you could sell as a pay-per-view main event at Revolution, at an event like Revolution or Double or Nothing or All Out or Full Gear. You would have that potential to go that route. You wouldn't have to rely on having just blood and guts, a once in a while or once a year Dynamite special episode or a special episode of Dynamite. You wouldn't have to rely on it being that if you can make this happen. And again, if you could get people, behind the scenes to work with Punk, who kind of in a way do side with Punk and what he feel and how he and they feel about the Elite, and go in that direction, like I said, you can actually sell a pay-per-view with a blood and guts match as the main event. And it would be justified being the main event over a world title match. I'm just saying. But we'll have to see. We will have to see what they do, if they can make this happen. Again, the wild card in all of this is Phil Brooks, CM Punk. Because again, CM Punk, isn't the kind of guy that's just going to forget about, past issues or past reasonings as to why he was pissed off. He's not going to probably forget about the, the references and everything the Elite's making right now in their matches. He's not going to forget that. So it's going to be up to someone. It's going to be up to someone like, Tony Khan and a decent group of people, that can reason with Punk to make this work. Can reason with him by saying, hey, if we can get them to be willing enough to put their differences aside, with you, their personal differences, then, you should be able to do the same thing, even temporarily, to make this work. Because at the end of the day, CM Punk, Phil Brooks, is a businessman. And he knows that the right kind of storyline, he knows from experience, basically, that the right kind of storyline injected with a bit of reality, a bit of a work shoot, legit work shoot mentality, he knows that the right kind of, storyline injected with that can do wonders. It could get people talking about, not just the people involved in the feud, but the company that it's taking place under. I mean, when CM Punk basically had his run with WWE, when he dropped the pipe bomb and just continued just to say what he wanted, somewhat work shoot himself into whatever he said with the likes of Triple H and John Cena and whoever, you can't tell me that didn't get people talking about WWE and wanted to tune into Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or even the pay-per-views to see what was going to come out of Punk's mouth next. What else was he going to basically tear the curtain down about, if you know what I mean? So to me basically, I look at the fact that, when he did that, he had that run, he understood as a business person that the reason it was kind of successful in the way it was, the reason it got people to watch, is because there was realism. There was legit realism and tension and personal issues between all the parties involved. And the same could go with his exit out of Ring of Honor when he made that, storyline, relevant and got people talking there because it ejected a bit of realism and stuff, from that, from that forefront, if you know what I mean. So Phil Brooks is no stranger to making something like this work. The only question is, will he agree to do it? You know, if they decide, hey, we want to bring you back and make you a part of the company again, and we want to do it because this is going to help us. You know, it's going to be up to him if he's willing to do that, and it's going to be up to basically AEW and Tony Khan to make it happen as well. Just basically work out the kind of deal that basically, you know, is going to ensure that this gets off the ground. It gets people talking. It gets people to tune in. And at the end of the day, maybe they can, you know, through this, work out all their issues, and pretty much everybody can get along, and, you know, they can get along and be a team for the benefit of the company. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below. Comment if you like. Live chat during the video. Comment below. You know where to find me. My buzz is here, guys, and I will talk to you all later. But let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think they should bring CM Punk back for this? Let me know down below.